Welcome back in to another episode of the Nightly Six. I am Steve Serda, joined by my guy, Osita Anusi.
What up?
My brain's kind of all over the place because I was sick last week and missed some shows, and then Ron's out of town and been off, and so
Ron's not just out of town, he's stuck. He was stuck like duck, dog.
So, I feel like we had signs of Hurricane Aaron, but you schedule plans and trips and you throw caution to the wind and you hope for the best. And unfortunately, Ron was stuck out of town for a couple of days. So I think he's almost home. I think we're good and everything is safe with the Hughley family. So Ron will probably be back tomorrow, but
we'll see if he's a real one and hops on tonight. We'll see. We shall see. I want to see if he's really about this podcast life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just gets stuck in Turks and Caicos, stuck in Atlanta, come back, and then immediately hop on the pod. That's what I want to see. I think that's what the people want to see, Ronald. So if you're watching this, you know what to do.
So, I think something really cool you could do for Ron is you could subscribe and head over to our YouTube page and do our guy Ron a solid, because he's probably been through hell the last 2 days. I can't imagine really how shitty it's been because
honestly, he deserves every bit of it. He deserves it. He deserves every bad thing that happens to him because when he took his boys trip, he never invites me. I never get invited. I don't get invited to cookouts. I don't get invited to Astros games. I don't get invited to the boys trips to wherever the hell they want to. You know what I mean? Nah, man. Nah. You deserve that, Ronald.
I mean, I don't get invited to the boys trips either. I can't really get invited.
You live far. You live far. I live in town. He could put me in his carry-on. You know what I mean? Like, he could be like, hey,
I've met all of Ron's best friends in the world. Like, I have met his closest friends.
You've met me. You've met yourself.
I've had beers with them. We've had nights out on the town. But I've never been to Houston, so I don't know what it's like in Houston. I don't know what the friendship arrangement is there. But he should certainly invite you to stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. And it's not like I'm going to say yes to every invite. I'm not going to say yes to every invite because, I don't necessarily like being outside like that. But it's the thought that counts. I'd like the option to turn it down. You know what I mean? I'd like to be like, oh, man, I'm good. I'm all right. You know what I mean? But instead, he's just like, nah, I'm not even going to call Osita. That's fine. That's cool. It's whatever. We live right down the road from – we live 10 minutes away from each other. 10 minutes away.
I say no to most invites because I don't usually want to go do anything.
See, I feel that. But you get the invites, though. That's what I'm saying. You get the invites.
Yeah. But I'm the guy that always feels bad because I just don't want to. And it's not to say that I'm not busy or I don't have other things going on, but most times I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I kind of already had the Saturday laid out. You only gave me 3 days notice, and I could probably work around it and swing by for a little bit, or I could just be like, nah, sorry, I got something going on. I'm busy.
Look, I'm at this point in my life where if you don't tell me at least 7 days, I need 3 to 5 business days. I need 5 business days to be real. You know what I mean? Not inclusive of weekends. I need 5 business days to make plans and stuff like that. You have to let me know at least a week in advance, man. Don't just 100%. Pop up on Wednesday or Thursday night talking about, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing this weekend? Because it's not going to be anything with you. You know what I mean? It's not I can't not doing all that. But if you let me know in advance that you're thinking of me, then I'm more likely to schedule my life around what's going on.
So
I'm just going to go and up and move because you're just like, hey, let's hang out. Nah, man, fuck all that.
I get really upset with my family because they do this stuff all the time where they send Facebook invites to stuff. And I still have a Facebook, but it's mostly for work purposes. I'm not just on Facebook. I don't use it like that anymore. And they send Facebook invites, and then I'll get a text 3 days before somebody's birthday party or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, we noticed you didn't say if you were gonna come or not," and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm busy. I didn't know that was a thing." They're like, "Oh, we said it on Facebook." They still do that.
No. Facebook invites stopped being a thing when I got out of college and got out of working at bars and venues and stuff. Like Facebook invites. Remember, like back in like I want to say like 2015, 16, 17, when that's how you knew when a concert was coming was like through a Facebook event.
Everything. Yeah.
I was the
guy. I'm going to this thing. And you're like, oh,
yeah, you're going too? Oh, it says you're going. Let's go together. All that shit. I was the guy making all those Facebook invites. You know what I mean? For my city, for the different concerts that I was a part of and stuff like that. But as soon as COVID hit, and actually, you know what it was? I remember the day. There was this kid named Johnny in San Antonio that now is a prolific music venue owner in San Antonio. But when he was first starting out, he had this little record label called Midnight Swim Records, right? He booked some stuff through he booked like a show at the venue I was working at. I was the calendar guy, the talent booker, the talent buyer, whatever you want to call it at that time. And I was like, "Hey man, you gonna make a Facebook invite for this thing?" He's like, "Nah, man, I don't do all that shit." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I just posted up on Twitter real quick." I was just like, "What?" He was just like, "Yeah, man, like nobody my age." Mind you, I was like 27, maybe 28 at the time. He was like 24, 23, maybe 22. And like 22 was like even young, you know what I mean? And he was like, "Nobody my age," as if our age is that fucking, there's that big of a gap. I mean, the 3 to 5 years is that big of a gap. But he's like, "No one my age uses Facebook invites anymore, Facebook events. We all just get on Twitter." Okay, whatever. But that's when I knew it was over. That's when I knew it was the day that Facebook invites died. And I feel like your family should know that by now.
They don't. They still treat me like I'm the shittiest like nephew, cousin ever because I don't ever go to anything. It's because I don't know about it. I'm like, "You got my number, just text me."
Yeah.
Shoot me a text and be like, "Hey, in a month, we're doing this thing on a Saturday. Can you be there?" And I'll make an effort. But when you text me 3 days because I haven't responded to your Facebook invitation, I don't think it's very fair. Like, I get that I'm a 35-year-old man and maybe I should still be looking at my Facebook notifications, but it is not something that I do ever. Like, I don't ever look at Facebook notifications.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like an asshole because there's this one guy that me and Ron work with and love to do the death. He's a homie. He's a good guy. He invites me to things all the time, right? And to be fair, they look like fun. Like all the things look like so much fun. Like he has a black cinema club and where they get together and they watch like black films. And then like this Sunday they went skating. And so like he was just like, "Hey man, you should come to this, blah, blah, blah."
I would love to join the movie club.
Turns out he knows my cousin too. Like my cousin, this kid that I've known my cousin since I was like 5. You know what I mean? My cousin's in Houston doing his thing through like, you know, his creative means and stuff like that. So they happen to know each other. They put together this whole event. I was supposed to go on Sunday, and then like Sunday hit. I don't know, man. I worked out on Saturday night until like midnight, almost 1 a.m. I was in bed. You know what I mean? I was just like, I was sleeping hard. I didn't wake up until like 11:30, almost 12 on Sunday. And I was just like, it starts at 2. I would have to get up now and like, you know, get ready now. But I feel bad because I feel like every time he invites me to something, I'll be like, yeah, no, that sounds like a bet. Like I'm down. It sounds like a plan. It sounds like so much fun. I'm down. And then when it comes to it, I'm just like, yeah, never mind.
I'm very bad about that too. I agree to things, and then the day of, I'm just like, you know, I'm tired. I gotta clean the house. Like I got shit to do.
I feel like it's a people pleasing aspect or something where I don't want to say no to your face. You know, I'm just like, I don't want to tell you no.
Well, and you don't want to disappoint people, but also at the same time, I feel like a lot of us just have too many obligations, and sometimes it's okay to just be like, "No, I just don't want to." Like,
but what's the bigger disappointment though? Like saying that you're gonna go and then not showing up, or just saying that you're not gonna go in general?
Oh, saying that you're gonna go and not showing up. 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I feel like saying that you're going to go and not showing up is like a bigger
at
dick
the last
move.
minute is way worse than just saying out of the gate, like, hey, I don't think I can make it. Like, I just don't think it's going to work out. That's way worse. And I do that, and I feel awful about it too when I do it, because I'm just like, oh, you should just go. Like, it would be nice, and it would be happy, and you probably have a good time. But then, like, you have social anxiety, and you're like, I just don't really want to. And then you don't, and then you get in your head that you feel like shit for not going. Like, I do that all the time.
See, I don't have the anxiety over the social situation. Sometimes I'm just like, bruh, I'm tired. Like, I just worked 6 days in a row, you know what I mean? Plus the podcast, plus like my life stuff. Like, I have things that I do outside of, everything that I do. And sometimes I'm just like, I just want to chill and bed rot. That sounds terrible. That sounds awful. I don't bed rot. I read books and work out. And so what's next? What are we doing?
I read books and work out too. Sometimes that's all I want to do. Sometimes all I want to do is sit on the couch and watch 12 hours of movies and television.
Seriously, dude. Oh god.
I think we deserve that because we all work very hard. So we shouldn't be judged for that. We shouldn't be chastised for that kind of stuff. But Osita, so we've talked about this quite a bit, and we did actually get some official word today on Ron's guy, Anthony Richardson, for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, yeah.
So the Colts decided to name Daniel Jones their starter, which Daniel Jones is, we've talked about Anthony Richardson, at least, and like why he deserves a chance, why it's a guy that's a former number 4 overall pick in the NFL draft. He's got talent through the roof, athleticism, just like absolutely absurd. Like, he literally, what he did at the NFL Combine was stuff that we had legitimately never seen from a quarterback from an athleticism standpoint, especially for one who's as big as he is. Like, he's a legitimate 6'5", 260-pound quarterback who is just nothing but like rock. Like, he is insane.
Just like me, baby.
But he hasn't put it all together fundamentally as a quarterback yet in the NFL, and still has a long way to go, but has not played very much in his NFL career due to injuries and just like mismanagement from the Colts as an organization. So this offseason, they decided to sign Daniel Jones, who is another former high-end NFL first-round draft pick for the New York Giants, also a quarterback, who has been just awful his entire career for the most part. He's got like one good season where he led the Giants to the playoffs, and everybody was like, they're not a good team. Like, they just had an easy schedule and managed to like sneak into the playoffs, and they got eliminated in their first playoff contest because Daniel Jones wasn't a good quarterback.
Oh, Danny Dimes is no good?
Yes.
Damn.
And so the Giants finally cut ties. They're finally like, all right, screw it. We've had enough of Daniel Jones. This isn't good enough. He goes last season after he gets cut. He signs with the Minnesota Vikings, and it's just a backup for Minnesota all last season. And then somehow throughout all of this process and him not playing a football game for basically a year, now the Colts have convinced themselves that Daniel Jones is a better prospect than Anthony Richardson, and he's going to be their starter barring injury, and Anthony Richardson is going to be the backup, which is insane for a player who is still 23 years old, again, still has athleticism that we have never seen at the quarterback position. Yes, it seems like he's not great at reading defenses. His throwing accuracy is all over the place, and it's really hard to develop that and like get that to the next level. But also, it's like a fundamental flaw within the NFL, Osita, that Shane Steichen, the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, and Chris Ballard, the general manager, are both like fully bona fide, proven lame duck members of the Colts organization. Like, if they wind up being garbage again this season, they're 100% going to get fired. Like, everybody knows that. Like, they've gotten way too much leash on this already. They've already fumbled all of this with Anthony Richardson. And so what they're opting to do, which is basically what they've opted to do in years past too, is Daniel Jones right now is probably the safer quarterback in that he could probably play his way through the offense and take the safe plays and do the safe things and try to read the defenses and not turn the football over. Whereas Anthony Richardson is going to be a total wild card.
Yeah.
But the best coaches in the NFL would find a way to utilize his strengths. Whereas, in my opinion, Shane Steichen is clearly not a good NFL head coach because he's trying to force Anthony Richardson like it's like forcing a square peg into a round hole. Like, it's just not working. And it's because that guy's not a good enough head coach to adapt what he does. He's trying to force the player to do the things that he does, even though those aren't the things that he does well. And it's really stupid. Like, it's really, really dumb. We see teams do this year after year, and it sucks for a 23-year-old player who I think could go to a great coaching staff who could find a way to utilize all of the special traits that he has as a player.
Quick question.
And the Colts are just flat out refusing to do that, instead going with Daniel Jones.
What are his special traits though? Because like when you speak of him, you're just like, okay, yeah, he's a big boy. He's inaccurate. He doesn't necessarily read the defense right. Like, you're just like saying things that seem like they're bad. So yeah. What is it that does he have like a crazy arm or something like that? Or like what is it about him that actually
he's got an insane arm, but also for somebody of his size, like he runs like a 4.4 40-yard dash. Like, he can run, he's got mobility and like the size to actually, he's had injury problems, but like at the size that he's at, he's got the size to like run and not get injured, which you can't say about a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Run and not get injured. How? From like a defensive player, or run and not get injured?
Like run and like take the beating of like eating a tackle as a mobile quarterback, because like Lamar Jackson's the best rushing quarterback in football. But what makes Lamar special is that Lamar doesn't take hits. Like, Lamar's just a really, really smart player. And so he doesn't leave himself open to getting lit up by defenders. Yeah. Anthony Richardson is more like Josh Allen, where Josh Allen is a very mobile quarterback, but he's huge. And so he doesn't necessarily always take the easy way out and just like slide and try to avoid tackles. He will try to run through people. Anthony Richardson, fully capable of doing that with his size and athleticism. And he's got one of the most insane arms in the NFL.
I'm just saying, I feel like a build like that, you said 6'5", 260, coming from someone who is 6'5", 260, I'm not all muscle yet. But I'm just saying, like, it's going to degrade rather quickly, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Like, we saw Yao Ming when he was, playing basketball and everything, and everybody was like, oh, he's freakishly tall. He's, 7 foot, whatever the fuck. And it's amazing to see what he can do. But, bigger bodies tend to break down a little bit faster. So, I mean, like, what if that's kind of what the Colts are thinking of? Like, they're just like, hey, this guy's not necessarily where we need him to be right now, but even in a couple of years when he might be where we need him to be, he might not, he won't be in his prime anymore.
And I could understand that if he wasn't 23 years old. Like, if he hadn't gotten enough opportunity, like, he hasn't gotten a lot of opportunity in college because of injuries. Hasn't gotten a lot of opportunity in the NFL because of injuries and mismanagement.
So we're saying it. He seems to be injury prone, man. So what are we talking about?
What I'm saying is there's organizations within the NFL that are better at managing that are better at training their players and putting them in situations to not get injured, that are better at managing those players. And then there's offensive-minded coaches in the NFL who will be like, we're going to throw out the playbook because this is who we have available to us. And so instead, we're going to run things that they're good at doing to try to put them in the best situations to succeed. The Indianapolis Colts simply aren't that kind of team. And what frustrates me the most about this, and maybe Anthony Richardson is just legitimately just a massive flop of a player. Like, that's perfectly within the realm of possibility, and I can live with that if that's what happens. I just don't feel like at any turn throughout his young career so far, Osita, that he's been given a real opportunity with somebody who is like putting him in a situation to succeed. I don't feel like the Colts have put him in a situation to succeed whatsoever. And now this is just another setback. This is just another thing where they're saying, we simply don't believe in you. We're going to go with the guy that we know is a proven loser, which that's what Daniel Jones is.
Hey, Danny John. Some respect on his name.
And we're not going to give you an opportunity until he inevitably gets hurt, which he also does that. And then we're going to put you back in. And then all we're going to do, because we're frustrated that things didn't work out the way that we wanted to as a coaching staff and as a front office, is talk about how you're not good enough and how you're not, like, instead of building you up. And there's coaching staffs in the NFL, like the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, and like what he does. Like, he's a beloved coach. Andy Reid is a beloved coach. Sean McVay, the Los Angeles Rams, beloved coach. And the thing that you see with those guys all the time is that they adapt to the players that are available to them. They always are constantly encouraging, constantly developing, constantly changing the way that they do things to fit the guys that they have available to them on their rosters. And I don't understand why it's so difficult for these guys to figure that out. Like, it seems simple enough. You don't have to be that smart. These guys have been coaching football their entire lives, so there's no reason that they have to say, oh, this is how we do things. We're not going to change what we do because Anthony Richardson is our quarterback instead of Daniel Jones. Like, Anthony Richardson, I think, could go to a team like the Rams with Sean McVay and be a successful starting quarterback in the NFL, but he's simply never going to get the chance to do that in Indianapolis because they're a poorly run organization.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he seems to have a lot of downside to him, but but also the people that you name, like the coaches that you name, because I was wondering, well, like, what teams were you going to say as far as like these teams that would be really good at taking young talent and, you know, making them great? But you named Andy Reid and Jim Harbaugh, right? And Sean McVay. Aren't they like the greatest coaches?
Are they not? I mean, Sean McVay's won a Super Bowl. Andy Reid, obviously one of the greatest coaches ever. And Jim Harbaugh's been to a Super Bowl, but he's never won one.
Isn't he like a legacy player or something like that though? Like, doesn't he have a brother or something?
It's John Harbaugh is the head coach of the Ravens. He has won a Super Bowl. He beat Jim actually when he was the head coach of the 49ers. But he was an NFL player. He was a quarterback actually for the Colts, and then wound up being the head coach in college for a long time. Then wound up being the head coach of the 49ers. Coached some great 49ers teams. That was the Colin Kaepernick era, like when they went to the Super Bowl. And then wound up leaving San Francisco, going back to college. Eventually won a national championship with Michigan. And then decided to come back to the NFL and coach the Chargers.
Still sounds like a really good coach, okay? Still sounds like a great guy, okay? All I'm saying is that you named 3 out of however many football teams there are that could possibly handle this wild card of a character named Anthony Richardson. Are there any like basic teams that would be more likely to receive somebody like him and actually do well with him? Or is it just kind of like he needs one of these 3, or he needs like a small fraction of what the NFL actually has to handle? Because if he, like, I get it, like, he's a special talent and stuff like that. He's a big dude. He can run. He can do all these things. He can throw far like a motherfucker. But at a certain point, if you can't, you know, work your game into the program that you're given, you can't expect every single team to fucking completely mold themselves around you every single time.
Sure. But it's the problem is it's like quarterback is that important to the product. It's like quarterback is that important to the success.
Dude, that's like the loophole y'all use every time. It's like quarterback is so different. Quarterback is so important. Quarterback has you set a higher standard. You can't cry if you're a quarterback. It's quarterback. Look, man,
the Philadelphia
is the quarterback
Eagles,
the one scoring every single time? Huh? Is he running it by himself?
The Eagles cater to what Jalen Hurts is good at because Jalen Hurts has limitations as a quarterback. Like, the best teams in the league do that, and the Colts simply aren't one of the best teams. I get it. Well, like, they're coveted jobs. There's only 32 of them in the entire world. And so everybody's scared to lose it. Everybody's scared to fail and like miss out on that opportunity. But the Colts are a bunch of cowards. They're a bunch of cowards. That's all that I'm trying to say is that they're cowards. Can we get
a banner up top that says Colts are cowards?
Yes, probably. That's all this amounts to. Like that's all I'm trying to say here with the Indianapolis Colts is that like I just think that they are cowards because I just smart-minded NFL people can totally see like how this could still work with Anthony Richardson. And for some reason, the only ones that can't are the Indianapolis Colts, are the head coach of the football team and the general manager who Chris Ballard should have been fired a long time ago. Like this is Chris Ballard's second head coach that he's overseeing. And for some reason the organization likes him. So they're just not a well-run football team, but I guess we're going to see Daniel Jones week 1 and for the first year.
But I shouldn't draft him for my fantasy or
no.
Okay,
and most of this amounts to the fact that I have him in a dynasty fantasy football league, and I was hoping it would pan out for A-Rich, but it's just not going to. So
sucks to suck, bro. I have all my drafts. I think I have one for Odyssey, and then I have another one that's going to be on Labor Day weekend.
I'm in 5 leagues. I've got one this Saturday.
Damn. Okay.
My one on Saturday is like my one big one that's in person that's been going on forever. And it's with like some of my best friends are in the league, but then there's also like guys that like it's the only time of the year that I see them and I just don't like them or enjoy their company at all.
Yeah.
It's a one time of year that I have to go see them for our fantasy football league because it's been going for over a decade.
Yeah.
And I've won it 4 times. And so like everybody hates me because I've won it more than anybody else.
All right. So my question is, okay, since I'm doing fantasy and you're doing fantasy, right? Okay. And we do this show together and we're best buds. We're twins. All right. Are you going to help me or are you going to be against me? I want the answer now that Ron isn't here because I know how Ron likes to skew things.
I will happily help you.
Thank you.
I used to host a fantasy football radio show.
Oh, no shit.
And I was great at it and I loved it. And I do love fantasy football. That's why I'm in so many leagues. But I do hate like how fantasy football has kind of evolved in like this like current like content media landscape business where it's just like everybody is just like low hanging fruit. And instead of like doing the work and trying to like figure things out, like they're just constantly just like trying to generate traffic and get acknowledgement for like things. And so they fuck a bunch of stuff up and then but the information highway that we're on right now is like, well, we don't remember when they fuck stuff up, especially not when they get things right. All they do is just boom, 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 like just.
Wait, so are you saying there's like fantasy podcasts or some shit?
Yes.
Oh, no shit.
There's fantasy podcasts. I'll recommend some to you off the show. Because there's some great ones out there. There's
just good ones, please. I need the Bomani Jones of fantasy podcasts, please.
There's some great ones, and there's a lot of garbage ones, but I know what the good ones are that you should listen to. But I'm very well researched. I love fantasy football. I will always give honest advice. But like with this draft that I'm going into on Saturday, all those guys have known me for so long and they all like hate me so much when it comes to fantasy football because I'm just better at it than they are that like oftentimes they won't take my advice. They won't listen to me because they think I'm like manipulating them and lying to them.
I mean,
and I'm being honest. Like I'm giving you my honest opinion, and they won't listen to me because they think I'm lying to them and trying to manipulate them so I can get some kind of advantage against them.
Okay, so here's what we do. We got to figure out the dark arts in this situation. How can we spin that? The fact that they won't listen to you, in your advantage. How can you use that as a manipulation tactic?
I don't know.
You're already giving them. I guess you're already giving them like the right answers, right? You're giving them the right answers,
and then they think but then they do the opposite, and then they're mad that they made the wrong decisions. And I'm not saying I'm right about every single decision, but I do the legwork. Like, I care about fantasy football. Like, I do the research. I'm the one out here grinding preseason games right now.
Hey, my guy, grinding preseason games. Monday Night Football, all that shit, huh? You're in it.
Monday Night Football was electric last night, by the way. That preseason game, I was at the Royals game last night, and I was like, and Erin kept getting mad at me for like checking my phone because she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "It's a Monday Night Football like preseason game on right now." She's like, "It's preseason." She's like, "It's not even the Chiefs." And I was like, "I know." It's like it's Commanders and the Bengals. But they played their starters a decent amount, and there was a lot to take away from that game. So I was locked in, and it was actually kind of a fun preseason game.
I completely forgot that shit was going on yesterday, so I did not catch it whatsoever.
It was electric. Like, Jaden Daniels ran for a touchdown. Joe Burrow was ripping touchdowns too. Like, just dotting guys in the end zone. It was a fun Monday Night Football preseason game, if there's ever been such a thing. So
if there's ever been such a thing,
I encourage everybody to get on the bandwagon, because I've had a lot of fun this preseason personally. But all right, let's do it. Let's get to a heat check.
All right, guys. So for today's heat check, brought to you by Big O, brought to you by the Nightly Fix, brought to you by Foolish Club Media. Make sure that you like and subscribe, or Ron is going to show up at your house with a bag of flaming dog shit. He's just going to hold it. He's not even going to leave it there and like let you step on it. He's just going to hold it on fire.
Hold it on the board.
Stare at you in your eyes while it's like burning his hand. Anyway, I always had an affinity for that show Key and Peele back in the day. And one of my favorite things from Key and Peele was the college football name sketch, where I think most of y'all should know this by now, where they have all these ridiculous college football names, and it just kind of seems like a joke. But then eventually they had like some random like real people in there. It was really funny. I think my favorite part about that was realizing that a lot of these names in college football are fucking real. So I want to bring you some of my favorite from this year of college football, this upcoming season. First one, because we're talking about real names, we're going to start with the realist Clark, going to Kent State University. All right. Also, I want you to, as I give you these names, I want you to listen to them, and then Steven, I want you to tell me like your favorite name, because I definitely have a favorite.
Okay.
All right. We got the realist Clark from Kent State, right? We got Isaiah Bullendick from Charlotte. Yeah, right. I know it's only going to get worse. Badger Hargett, LSU. That sounds like a country name for sure. Badger. We named our kid Badger.
Like somebody named him after Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger.
The Honey Badger. Honey Badger. All right. Crush Showers, Southern Utah.
Crush Showers.
Crush Showers with a K. Crush with a K. It's Crush with a K, dude. Crush with a K. All right. We got Deed Capper from Wisconsin. All right. We got Wing Green going to Campbell University, Campbell College, Soup University. Okay, so we got one of my own, fellow Nigerian. That's what's up. God's Power, Nwawiwe. That's how you got to say his last name. Nwawiwe. All right. Going to Army. We got King Large from SMU. Shout out to the Dallas area. King Large. He's a big boy, too. He's a big boy. He's a lineman. All right. We got Memorable Factor from Duke. Surprisingly enough, this is a white guy's name. Memorable Factor. I don't know why they named their child that, but it is what it is. Dude Person from Central Arkansas. Yeah. Nitro Tuggle going to Purdue. Right? We got, this is another white guy, Gideon ESPN Lampoon going to Bowling Green.
Like ESPN's his middle name?
ESPN is his middle name. I know. Pig Cage for Louisiana Tech. I mean, Louisiana Tech, that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? We got Hollywood Smothers from North Carolina State, NC State. And we got Tommy Running Rabbit for Montana.
Hollywood Smothers is good.
Hollywood, but that's a porn name though. Hollywood Smothers.
I feel like that's a
stripper name for sure. That's like a big old stripper.
I feel like that's like that's a name you would see in like a neo-noir, like LA crime movie, like Hollywood Smothers.
Hollywood Smothers.
No,
that's a stripper name in a neo-noir movie for sure.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
I think Dude Person is my favorite one.
I like Wing Green just because it kind of rhymes. Wing Green. And no one ever says it like just his first name or just his last name. They got to say both at all times. They're like, Wing Green. What up, Wing Green?
Dude Person is just so ridiculous. Like, they actually, like, is that because sometimes in college it's like the nicknames, but that's what they want to go by. So I'm assuming that maybe he's got another name or his family actually just named him Dude Person.
I think his family actually named him Dude Person. Let me see. Yep. Dude Person.
Okay. Well, that's funny. That's ridiculous, but yeah, I think that's got to be by what was it? Did you ever watch Community? What was the Community mascot? Wasn't it just like the people or something?
Oh, yeah. What was it?
I guess it's like the person or the Greendale, like people or persons or something like that.
I can't find it.
I don't have it, but
yeah.
All right. Well, Dude Person is pretty good. But
Dude Person, I think memorable factor is probably my favorite.
That's pretty good too.
He's got a memorable factor. He's got something about him that's just memorable. And
I hope all of these people have wonderful and successful college careers.
I hope all their parents get arrested immediately. I hope there's a cop watching this right now or someone that works for the FBI or something like that, because we know that all the Alphabet Boys love to watch The Nightly Fix, as the rest of America does. If you are one of these people, arrest all their parents, because it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's the rest of their lives that they're going to have to deal with that name. They're going to be Wing Green forever. Wing Green.
And then, so on Monday Night Football, one of the big players was Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who's a rookie running back. Then it came out right before the game that he wanted to go by Bill Krosky Merritt, because everybody was calling him Ja'Cory, and he was like, actually, I go by Bill. And everybody was like, Bill. And then I saw somebody post it. I didn't actually verify, so maybe this isn't actually true. But it was like because he loved like the Cosby Show so much.
No.
Like Bill, like since he was a kid or something. So he wants to go by Bill instead of Ja'Cory. But it was like, are we going to call him Bill though? Like, or are we just going to call him Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt? Like,
I'm just saying, a Cosby, I don't know if that's going to age. I don't see how that aged well. You know what I mean?
Especially not if he's going to be like a good player. You might just have to bite the bullet and go by your God-given name.
But you went like even through the trial and the jail, you were just like, I still really fuck with Bill Cosby.
Yeah,
so, you
still watch all episodes. Like, yeah, that's my thing.
That's funny as shit. That's like today I found this old, not an old soul band, but a soul band, like a soul R&B band from like the 2015s called The Ditties. The Ditties. And yeah. I was just like, ooh, that didn't age well. And they have a new song that just came out in 2025 and they kept their name. Good for them,
I mean, yeah, I guess that's like if it was like if they were from the 60s and they never like hit it big, you could be like, oh, the Ditties, that makes sense back
No, 2015.
But no, like they knew about like
2015.
Diddy was Diddy by then. So,
Diddy was Diddying by then, you know what I mean? Diddy was plenty of Diddy. Diddy was doing his thing, And they even decided to drop a single this year, even after all the Diddy stuff, and they kept the name. Not even a little bit, not even a spelling change. Just Keeping it the same. That's what we're doing. All right, 2025. Fuck it, right?
So I wanted to talk about this before we talk about weapons, because we have to talk about weapons before I get out of here. And I highly encourage everybody else to go see Weapons. I thought it was a fantastic cinematic experience. But so Osita, as we continue to change your life and expose you to more and more sports.
Yes.
And really just try to submerge you in everything me and Ron have been doing our entire lives up until this podcast. Do you have any idea who Rich Eisen is?
Let's see. He's American television sportscaster and radio host since 2003. Worked for NFL Network as a host of various pregame, halftime, and postgame shows, and doing occasional play-by-play.
Okay.
He also hosted Daily Sports Radio Show and podcast.
We don't need his whole Wikipedia biography. But so Rich Eisen, and Ron would totally agree with me if he was here. So there was an era of Sports Center, like Rich Eisen, Stuart Scott, Chris Berman, like a lot of these, Scott Van Pelt, who's still there, but like a lot of these guys are like, amongst sports people, like these guys are like iconic sportscasters. And Rich Eisen has not been at ESPN for a long time now, but he decided to go back to ESPN and signed a new deal with them to do stuff here and there. And he's also had an insanely successful career outside of ESPN, like with NFL Network. And he's going to do like YouTube play-by-play for the YouTube NFL games and stuff like that. He's got a very successful radio show. So he's like an iconic sports media personality, especially for nerds like me and Ron, who have been doing this for as long as we have. But like Osita, you're never going to experience the glory days of Sports Center and ESPN. And this is like going back to cable. This isn't, I don't think you can replicate it now in the streaming era the way that you could back then, because back then, when you didn't have as many options, you had your go-to channels, right? Like, I used to watch MTV, ESPN, Sci-Fi Channel. Like I had like my go-to channels that I knew exactly what the channel number was that I went to, no matter what.
What was your MTV, by the way?
I think it was 24.
24. Mine was 30. 24 for me was like Nickelodeon or some shit.
Yeah, I think MTV was 24. ESPN was 33. Sci-Fi Channel was 67. Those were like
ESPN was like 33 or 34 for me.
Yeah,
and Sci-Fi Channel was like, I want to say 69. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to say it was like 69 or 67.
Yeah,
maybe 68.
Yeah, like we had those go-to channels, and so those were mine. And so, but it does so Rich Eisen signs this deal with ESPN. He returned last night for a Sports Center. Like I watched it today and I was like, it's like, man, I'm old. Like I'm so old. This is like returning me to like my childhood. Like when I first got a TV in my room and I could stay up watching TV without anybody telling me to shut it off for the first time in my entire life. And I would scroll around, but I would always land on the same few channels. And inevitably, I would put it on ESPN, and ESPN at night would just air Sports Center back to back to back to back. And so it was like, you grew up with these people. It was like an iconic thing that they don't do. ESPN still has Sports Center, but they don't do so much of like the straight highlight shows anymore. Like it was all highlights. So like when I got up the next day and like went to school or whatever, I knew everything about what happened in sports the night before. Like everything. Like I could go talk about NBA. I could go talk about baseball. I could go talk about golf. Like I knew all of it because I had stayed up till 2 a.m. just watching Sports Center on repeat the night before. And they don't really do that anymore because now it's become much more like algorithmic, and ESPN, we're seeing them like lay a bunch of people off right now. And they literally just hired like a Barstool Sports content person who is like strictly like, and now they're hiring like TikTok people. Like they're literally leaning heavy into the streaming algorithm, like short bite-sized content, because it's short term, it's super like monetizable, and it's super easy to like make money off of that short term, and lean into the algorithms of all the streaming stuff, especially.
Question though, do they think that they'll get like a younger audience doing that, or is it just...
I think that's part of it too, is like they see the success of a place like Barstool Sports and they're like, oh, people don't watch Sports Center the way that they used to. They don't watch cable television like that anymore. And that's why we've seen this like dramatic shift in like, we're going to put all of our money into the big, bold personalities and just build everything around the Pat McAfees and the Stephen A. Smiths. And so it was like such a welcome thing last night to see Rich Eisen. Like, it was like him coming home and this guy that was like such a weird part of my childhood, like, just do his Sports Center. And maybe that's not what he's going to do moving forward. Maybe that was like a one-off thing where he was like, I'm not coming in and doing this first show back unless I do it exactly how we did it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And he just like let it rip. And it was amazing. And I was like, God, I miss this. It's like, I don't need all of the opinion. I don't need all of the fucking bullshit and all of the fucking arguing. Like,
just tell me what happened.
I just want somebody to rip some fucking highlights. Like, it was so goddamn good. I missed it so much.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice.
Literally like,
so earnest.
I can like get emotional about this. Like, that's how much I've just missed highlights.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. Yeah, I mean, I feel that. I look, number one, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're getting to relive, your childhood memories via the proxy of this guy, Rich Eisen. There's always something to be said for like, I was thinking while you were talking, like why they would bring him back when they're obviously trying to switch to this kind of like new wave of sports media, right? Via the Barstool Sports and the TikTokers and the algorithmic stuff or whatever, right? And I feel like this is just another case of like, sometimes nostalgia, hits really hard, and nostalgia, if you lean into said nostalgic feelings, like you get some of the best people from back in the day too. Like, I would lose my mind if they had Kurt Loder on MTV right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they had Kurt Loder talk about like Ozzy Osbourne's life, you know what I mean, on MTV, I would fucking cry and I would watch it for hours. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is one of those things. Like they're bringing back one of the old school guys in order to kind of like capitalize on that kind of nostalgic feeling that you used to have back when you used to watch Sports Center back in the day. Good for them. Good for them for doing that and not just kind of like, keeping nothing but the Barstool and the TikToks and the Pat McAfees and who's the other guy? What's the other guy's name?
Stephen A. Smith.
The Stephen A. Smith. But what's the guy who owns Barstool?
Oh, Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, Portnoy. He sounds like a rapper. That should be a rapper name. Dave Portnoy. Every time I see him post something on Twitter, I don't know if I should like it anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He'll post things, and I'm just like, why are you posting that?
I don't follow him more.
What's the subtext? What do you really mean there, David Portnoy?
Oh yeah, there's always something. But no, it just really brought me back to like a much simpler time in my life. And
shout out to AJ Lancaster. He said, "This is how I found out Kurt Loder's still alive." I don't know if he's still alive or not, but
I actually have no idea. I thought about it when he brought it up. I was like, is Kurt Loder still hanging on?
I do know that if he is still alive,
it says he's 80 years old. God,
he's 80 years old.
80 years old.
He's 80.
No, it says he's still active somehow.
Dude, I'm old.
God, Kurt Loder is 80 years old.
He's 80. What does he look like now?
He still kind of just looks like Kurt Loder, just older.
He looks like he's like one of those vampire people.
Still got a full head of hair. Honestly, he looks pretty good.
Okay, he's aging like Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and them.
Yeah,
he looks just like Keith Richards, dude. Like, it's weird. That's crazy.
All right. Before we get
All right,
out of here,
weapons. Let's do
I
this.
do want to talk about weapons. No
Okay.
spoilers. I mean, it's been out for
I'm gonna spoil it. I'm spoiling all of it.
but
No, I'll try not to.
No, I loved weapons. And I really liked Barbarian. Like I don't know if I love Barbarian as much as like a lot of other people loved Barbarian, but I enjoyed Barbarian. Like it was a good movie. It was a fun ride. I loved weapons. Like loved it. Like I'm such a fan of these like very like creative, artistic, like horror comedies that have really come out in the last few years. And Jordan Peele does the exact same thing. If you've seen Ready or Not, that's like one of my favorite ones too. Ready or Not's awesome. Like these kinds of movies that are like horror, they can get really dark, they can get really demented, but they also like have a sense of humor about what they do. And that's exactly what Weapons is.
Yeah, I liked Weapons, okay? I liked it for what it was. But when I hear this is the greatest horror film to come out in the past, like, however many years, and people are like, it's 100 on Rotten Tomatoes, it's this and it's that. I was like, and I saw Barbarian, okay? Barbarian actually scared me, okay? Yeah. I saw whatever was
like scarier jump scare movie than Weapons is.
Dude, I saw what was going on in that basement, and like I saw the basement and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Weapons, I haven't laughed that hard, that loud at a movie in a long time. Okay? Like, and I love seeing comedies. Like that shit was actually, it was more funny to me than scary. I went and saw it with one of my old homies from like college or whatever. He was like all curled up in a seat and stuff like that. And I was like, what you scared? You scared of this? This is what you're scared of? This is what you, matter of fact, okay, the scene. Okay, I'm trying to say it without the scene where the guy gets stabbed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Where the guy gets stabbed in the face. Okay, cool. I laughed so hard, like uncontrollably hard. Stephen, let me tell you, I was the only person in the entire movie theater. Everyone else gasped audibly, went, and I went, ha, ha, ha. I was done, dude.
No, but see, I did the same thing. Those people aren't real movie watchers. Those people aren't real cinephiles. They haven't gone down the rabbit holes that I've gone down. They haven't seen the fucked up shit that I've seen in movies. All right. And
dude, as soon as look, number one, I knew somebody was about to get stabbed. As soon as that was happening, I was like, he's gonna tag somebody with that motherfucker, isn't he? And then as soon as it happened, I go, ha, like, and no one else laughed, dude. No one else laughed.
No, that's insane because it was funny. Like it was
hilarious. It was hilarious.
And there's multiple moments like that where I think people did laugh in my theater, but I went and saw it with Aaron too, and it was kind of like she got annoyed with me at one point because she's like scared and like grabbing onto me, and I'm just like totally like ignoring her, just like sitting there like grinning, like cracking up. And she was like, come here, like I'm scared, like she was like noticeably perturbed with me because I was just sitting there like cracking up, like giggling like a moron.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's scarier to other people, but it's because I'm like desensitized to horror.
As fuck. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like I wish they would have used the face that you see in the woods. I wish that was the face that you saw of the actual bad guy in the movie.
It was the face in the woods scary.
Was way creepier.
Yeah.
It was way creepier. And then when the bad guy came out, I was like, what?
It was like Pennywise level, like creepy stuff.
Yeah, but then when the actual bad guy came out, I was like, man, what the fuck is this? I was like, what is this?
I mean, I loved it.
What is this bad makeup, awful hair dye, terrible wig? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, it was stupid, dude. I don't know. The soundtrack was really good though. The soundtrack was amazing. There are some old 70s jams from that movie that I've been kind of fixated on since I saw that movie. Also, there's some other things like but there's no way to talk about it without spoiling it.
It's the kid from Euphoria. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but that's the only other thing I know him from. He like stole the show.
Oh, the junkie?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Like
he was.
absolutely hilarious. And
This was
Zach Krieger, the director, said that the next movie he's supposed to make is like a Resident Evil movie, and that dude's gonna be like the star of it because he was like, so I guess they've been trying to get this movie made for a while, and they went through tons of like recasts because like funding was a problem and getting a studio to buy it or whatever, and it took like years for them to like finally like find somebody who was like going to give them what they wanted to make the movie.
Yeah.
And so he was like, he's the only one that like rode with me the whole time. He's like, we changed the cast like year after year, and he was the only person from the original cast that I like casted in the movie.
Yeah.
So he was like, he's my guy, and he was awesome. And so he's like, I'm gonna make my next movie with him because he was great.
Yeah.
But he steals the show. He's so goddamn funny. Like he's got like 4 or 5 moments in the movie that I'm going to be thinking about for like a while because of how funny they were.
Oh, when he got punched in the face?
Yeah.
When he got punched in the face, I laughed hard, dude. It was another moment where everybody goes, oh, like police brutality. I was like, no, fuck that. Ha. Like, ha. Like, ha. You shouldn't have done that, stupid. Like,
oh, fuck, Willow. Like,
no, but okay. Also, this isn't going to spoil anything. How afraid am I supposed to be of someone Naruto running at me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was was intentional, and it was hilarious.
Through the whole city, dog, and no one calls the cops?
And there's
not one person was like, hey, this dude is on one right now. He's like,
I saw a lot of people like, that they're like people who had like gripes at the movie too, being like, oh, it's not about anything, like, because it was like when it started, it was like maybe this is like a social commentary, and then like as the movie goes on, you're like, oh, that's not what this is at all. And like, and I loved that. Like, we don't always need everything to be about how shitty society is. Like we don't always need everything to have some like deeper meaning. And I read a lot of the interviews with the director and like kind of what he talked about, like how this story came about. And he was like, yeah, I was never trying to do that. It's like, I never gave a shit about any of that. Like,
there was one thing I saw where somebody was just like, oh, yeah, this just goes to show that there's nothing scarier to American society than a woman without a child. I was just like, what the fuck? Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from?
Yeah.
Like,
those people are insane.
Also, the haircut scene. Okay, that was probably the scariest that movie got for me. Like when the haircut came through, and I was just like, "Hey,
creepy." And it's early in the movie too, where like you still don't have any answers about what's going on.
I'm like, why is this lady walking like a toddler toward you with scissors? Like, this is crazy.
But
and then she opened the car door.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think that was like one of the few parts of the movie where I was just like,
you still got all your faculties like that? That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Encourage everybody to go see Weapons. It's a lot of fun. It
is a lot of fun. I think it was I don't know. I still don't think it's better than Barbarian, but I think it was good for like what's come out this year at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's one of my favorites of the year for sure. But all right. I don't really have anything else. I don't know. You got anything else you want to talk about?
All right. Well, let's spoil the ending of Barbarian. Or sorry, like the ending of Weapons. So pretty much